Alright, so here is a crusty special that I saw at a hamfest and thought I'd pick up and we could work on. So I went off on a trip out of state in Indiana, and they had a hamfest up there, and so I got up early one Saturday morning and went to it. Or as some people say, ham radio swap fest, but anyway, swap meets or whatever. Anyway, I made the trip early one Saturday morning, and as soon as I pulled up, there was a guy out in the parking lot selling stuff off the back of a trailer. So I walked over there and took a look, and this is one of the things I bought off the trailer here. It's a GE Model 410 from about 1950. It's in a wooden case. It's not in very good shape. Physically, it's not too bad, but the finish isn't so great, and it's got a pretty rough looking dial or grill cloth on it. And I don't know what happened here. I don't know if it was like that when I got it. I don't remember that being that way when I got it, but either in the process of transport or something, I lost a little piece of veneer there, and I looked all over for it and couldn't find it. So I guess that's there to stay, or I'll try and stain over it and touch it up, make it look a little bit better. But yeah, this is farm fresh here. The guy explained that he pretty much hauls scrap metal, and whenever he comes across a bunch of radios and stuff, he usually puts them back in his barn, and I guess he takes them out to the hamfest and tries to make a few dollars off of them. So anyway, we rescued this one off the back of the trailer, and it looks pretty much all original, so I thought I'd give it a whirl and see what's going on with it. Alright, and this little part here is going to be to all those people that think I should use an isolation transformer for my repairs. This, as you can hear, it hums real bad. This is an isolation transformer that I normally keep down below my bench down in this area, but you know, I normally keep it down there because it hums. There's an isolation transformer inside that box, and I reckon I probably need to get in there and stuff it with some stuff to reduce the hum. But I moved it up here because I had to put some more stuff down there. So normally I keep this thing under there, and this power strip right here is run off of that. But I moved some things around, so you know, I just want people to know that I use isolation transformers, and you know, to all those trolls out there that think I don't have one, that's the one I use. Not only that, I have another one around here as well. Alright, read right there, top line. Alright, let's fire it up and see if it blows up. Well, I hear static, that's good. But I don't hear any humming. But we can't tune it because the dial cord's broke, so I guess first things first, we need to replace the dial cord. My favorite job of all radio repairs. Not. Alright, here is a shot of the real faded, or not really faded, but real darkened paper label that's on the back of it, Model 410. Anyway, to remove the chassis, you're going to need to take these two pins out here. They're little brass pins. And Then you tilt the bottom of it up, and there'll be these 3 screws. You remove those and remove your knobs, and your chassis will come out. Alright, chassis out, and somebody's tried to tie that cord back together and it probably didn't work, so that'll need to be replaced. And if I remember right, I believe I remember the dial stringing pattern of this thing. I looked at it online. It's starting to chip off over here, but luckily I think that's out of view of the dial. So anyway, I believe you wrap, go around, and then it rides on this wheel here. You just wrap around and then back, and then around, and then up this way. You tie off here, wrap, I think it's 3 turns there, around, back over here, and then back up, and then 1 pass over this again, and then over. It's kind of strange though how they did that. They really didn't make enough room for this. It seems like they could have put this out a little ways and then made just a bare metal part for the pass through, or another idler wheel. But yeah, then again, we're talking about GE. They're the bean counters of radio manufacturing back in the day, so anything to make it cheaper. But the good thing about this is it does have a tuned RF stage, and it should be a fairly good performer. These older GEs don't suffer from the SMD that their younger counterparts did. These are adjusted by variable capacitors and not inductors. So that was back before. This was the better period of GE, is pretty much this and back, because they were starting to switch over to the miniature tubes, and we all know how the quality of GE went after that. It wasn't too good. Alright, so I got it restrung, so that's working now. And I never did show you under the chassis here. Pretty much all original, and what's amazing to me is it still has its original filter cap and it's not humming. So, which is pretty amazing. I think this is one of the first ones I've seen with the original filter cap. It's not noisy, so that's pretty amazing. And it looks like we have all of our original paper caps. Pretty much all of our original parts, from what I can tell. Doesn't look like anything's been changed on this set. I don't see anything that stands out. So anyway, definitely a nice all original condition set. But it's nice to have all original, but you know, all these parts are probably on borrowed time. I don't imagine them lasting a very long time. If you were to put this thing, you know, and start into everyday use, or you know, using it pretty often, it would probably not last too long. So, you know, as we always do, we're going to need to check resistor values and change all these old paper caps and the filter electrolytic in it. So, but all in all, a pretty simple radio design, and not a whole lot. Probably a whole lot to do to this thing. It really works pretty good as it is. Okay, so it's all recapped. And I had to change out, I think it was 2 resistors out of this set. I'm telling you, the components on this thing, for the age it is, well, first of all, it's all original, including all the tubes. It was all the original capacitors, and everything's original. All the tubes are dated the 43rd week of 1950, so that would make this more 51 set. I would say this is probably from 51. So yeah, it's all recapped, and you know, unlike some other individuals on another channel, I thought we could use one more recap video, one more AA5 recap video for the NSA database. So here you go. We have another recap video just in case nobody else hasn't figured out how to recap these things from the 47,000 other videos online. Okay, and went ahead and cleaned up the the top of this and all the tubes and everything. And all these tubes are test strong. All these being the original tubes, this has got to be a really low hour set. I really believe it is a low hour set. It probably sat longer, or a whole lot longer than it was ever used. The condition of it shows that it just sat, and probably sat in somebody's basement or attic or something like that. So it probably deteriorated from just sitting. Well, the electronics didn't deteriorate at all, is the amazing part. But anyway, this is our pile of parts here, and this is our original pyramid electrolytic cap here, 250s, and so it was literally in that snap for so long it just dimpled in the side of it there. And as you see, there's our new caps. I just used the wire that came from over here, just put them all in one spot, kind of like the original cap. So anyway, alright, well, it's all back together, and I think we're ready to go. I cleaned all the tube sockets, and like I said, cleaned it up. I'm gonna plug it in and see how it works, but I don't think it's gonna need to be aligned because it was working pretty well even before I changed anything. Alright, here it is, all back in the cabinet, and we got the cabinet looking a little bit better. I did change the grill cloth too, because it had holes all in it. There's the original, and the grill cloth I got in it came out of an old silver tone console that was falling apart, and had quite a large grill cloth in it, so I removed that and saved it, and it came in handy. Looks pretty good in there. So anyway, yeah, knob's missing, and so I had to put this one on here. We'll use that one temporarily. We'll be on the lookout for one of these. I'm not gonna hold my breath. It's probably gonna be kind of hard to find, but yeah, if you know anybody's got a knob, let me know. But anyway, other than that, it seems to be working good. Got a little DX coming in. It's starting to get dark outside. I didn't even notice that General Electric decal there until I started dressing up the cabinet a little bit.
What you've been able to do. So I mean, it can be done.
Well, let's talk about. Hang on one second. That's a good question. Let's talk about Kentucky. Listen, and
I had never heard this station before, and I tuned by it a minute ago, and it ID'd as WTAV. So I don't know where that's at. I'll have to look that up. There's our local R&B on AM and simulcast on FM.
Championship game against Alabama.
Yeah.
And that'll be.
Your radio. for Amber Alert, as well as things like...
Meaningless. Well, it's because God has simply revealed to us.
ABC News Radio, I'm Brian Shook. A suspect is in custody in South Carolina in an active shooter situation that saw 5 officers shot. 3 Florence County deputies and 2 Florence City officers were reportedly shot. The Florence County Emergency...
I didn't know about that. There's our Hispanic station about 45 miles away.
Participate in any further scams. We are not going to participate now in the tracking of the FBI. I'm not talking about the senior.
I think that's 560.
18 months. 18 months. Not the FBI.
Not a whole lot going on there. The DX hadn't kicked all the way in yet. It's not very late. So.
Que una picadura es más molesta. Hay gente que molesta más como el ratón.
All right, and there's 970 right there. So there it is, all finished. My 1951 GE Model 410. Appreciate y'all watching. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Y'all have a good one now.